Hi, and welcome to the podcast. Dustin is fixing his hair, trying to make himself look good. He's trying, Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Coaching with Content podcast. I'm Darren. This is Dustin. Dustin, what's up, man?
What's up? I'm so excited to be here in person. This is weird.
Whoa, it's super weird.
Super weird.
Super odd.
I'm here for it.
Oh, me too. And so glad that you're here in Indy, that we get a chance to have this conversation in person.
Yeah.
I feel like it'll be even a little bit more awesome just being able to do this.
Yeah, it'll flow better for sure.
Yeah, I love it. So thanks for being here all the way
absolutely.
from Hotlanta.
So
today we want to talk a little bit about the 4 pieces of pillar content that every coach or consultant or really any business should be using in some way, shape, or form. And we feel like this is an important podcast because often when it comes to video, I think all of us would say, man, we need video for our business. We notice that everybody's utilizing video from a social media side of things, right? And I think if we boiled it down, we would say when we go on a website and we find a video that we can just hit play on and kind of watch and learn about the company or the organization or the landing page that we're on, that it always kind of just endears us a little bit more to that organization. So I think we know that video is important. We want to utilize video, but often, I don't know if you've ever been this way in your business, is you go, what am I supposed to, what do I do? Like, what do I film? What am I supposed to make happen where people can find me, know, like, and trust through that time? And so I think what we found in our work with all of our clients and the agencies and the folks that the coaches and consultants that we deal with is that it boils down to about 4 main videos that we kind of say, hey, you need to have these in your organization. You need to make sure that these are up and out there in the world, because when we do this, it allows people to know, like, and trust us in a great way. So Dustin, you are a business owner. You're a coach and consultant yourself, right? Video is important to you and what you do. And how, I guess the first question I'll pose to you at this point is, like, how has video been a staple for you? Before we get into which staples we do, from a general 30,000 foot view, how has it helped you to have pillar pieces of content out in the world?
Yeah, I mean, it may sound redundant to some of the things that we've talked about on this show before, or maybe it's just I'm imagining it in the private conversations that we've been having, but it really allows me the opportunity to kind of be in more than one place at one time.
That's it.
That it's this, anyone at any point can go hit play anywhere that I'm at and automatically get some piece of, I don't want to call it wisdom, but some type of beneficial content to them without me having to be either on the phone or on a Zoom or in person with them. So like right now we're sitting here talking.
Right.
I have videos all over YouTube and all over my website that anyone could be watching right now.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting here talking to you. And so it sounds elementary to say that because, yes, obviously it's pre-recorded content, right? It's not live content. So, but honestly, that's been the biggest game changer, is because I think a lot of us in coaching and consulting, we are our own bottlenecks because there's only one of us.
Yep.
And so how do we multiply and maximize that oneness of us?
Yeah.
I think video is the best way to do that.
100. And I know you say that feels elementary or like, okay, some of the basics, but often if you're anything like me, you often forget the basics, right? Yeah. Like even if you're looking at it from a sports analogy, right? The coaches that typically win are the ones that remind you about the basics.
Right.
They get you down to, if you're talking football, it's the blocking and tackling. If it's basketball, it's the layups. It's you get back to the basics. And so when it comes to us as coaches and consultants, I think we have to look at it that way, and we have to say, we got to remember the basics. So
we overcomplicate too many things in all areas of our lives, and this is no different. We tend to overthink and overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
And if we can just kind of get back to the basics, which I think is what we're going to talk about today,
Yeah.
and it just maximizes the impact so much more without overcomplicating the whole thing.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, Dustin, something that we do at 1898 is we run most of our clients, if not all of our clients, through what we call the content creation operating system, right? This is a framework that we utilize, and typically how that process happens is we look at your messaging, we look at who you're talking to, why you're talking to them, how we can, clarify that really well, right? So for you, for an example, you preach and you coach to creative professionals,
That's right.
right?
Yep.
And you have a really clear message around that idea.
Yeah.
And so we typically work with anybody to clarify that message. But then we step into the portion of the operating system that is more of the pillar content that we call. And so I want to walk us through this today of just about 4 video types that we have found as pillar content that every coaching consultant needs to have on their website and in their socials today. So we're going to break those down and kind of walk through each of them, what they might look like, how we can film them, all that kind of thing. And so the first of the 4 that we're gonna discuss today is the brand story video. And we have talked about this before on the podcast. We've kind of highlighted it as a video option for you to do. But the brand story video at its basic level is a video that breaks down who you are, what you do, and why you do it. And it really just allows people to understand a little bit of behind the curtain, if you will, on who you are.
Yeah, it's the backstory.
Yeah. Kind of it brings people in. So, for instance, with the brand story video that we have for 1898 right now, talks a little bit about the fact that I was a musician for years.
Yeah.
And that led me into storytelling and video and how that plays its role in, and that I even touch a little bit on it, like the fact that storytelling is so powerful. And so that brings you in. You kind of understand who I am and what I do a little bit there. Yeah. And it just allows for you to go, oh, that's cool. I didn't know he was a musician. Oh, yeah, I kind of see that, Then you go on social media. Sometimes you go, oh, you find some old video of me playing guitar somewhere, which is, it's out there, I promise.
Yeah.
But yeah, the brand story video is one of the most main, you could call it an about me video, an about us video, if you will, for lack of a better term. And so I know we've done one for 1898, a lot of our clients. We've also worked on a couple for you to get that out. But what do you see with the brand story? Why is it so important?
Yeah, I mean, I think in today's society now more than ever, people, especially in the millennial, Gen Z, Gen Alpha generations, it's super important for them to understand why they want to connect to the purpose, and purpose comes from the why, right?
100.
And so if that's where that comes from, then if we're not willing to be vulnerable enough to share why we're doing what we're doing, then it's just going to feel like a transaction at McDonald's and not necessarily an opportunity for us coaches to come alongside, right? And that's what we're all trying to do out here.
Yeah. And it goes back to, I know a couple of episodes ago, we talked about the fact that we got to build trust, and video builds trust at scale, right?
Right.
And that's to your point, right? Like when we want to work with those, especially in the coaching and consultant world, you don't want to work with somebody that you don't trust.
Right.
Or you don't have that like, oh, I know he knows what he's doing. I know he knows where he's taking me.
Yeah, I mean, opening up yourself to a coach or consultant in your life, no matter what the category is an extremely vulnerable act.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, it goes back to that trust piece. If you can connect with their heart a little bit, then you can go, okay, now I trust you a little bit more. I trust your motives a little bit more here. Yeah. I understand that you're not in this just to make money, but you actually care about bettering other people's lives through the type of coaching and consulting you do.
Yeah, that's great. And so that's the brand story video. That's a really important piece that we tell every client that we work with, you got to have a brand story video and get that out. Put it on the front page of your website, right?
Yeah.
Just get it right there.
I love
for people
talking as we're talking about these types of videos. To me, I'm just a visual learner, and to just kind of think for a second about where these videos go on your website is an easy kind of like, oh, I see how it's used. Not that it only lives on your website, but you know what I mean? Like there's the front door, right? Your homepage, and then you got like the About Us. It's a little bit more like the living room, and then you start getting into the kitchen and utility rooms with the services, with services and you know, things like that. It's like now we're getting into it, and then you know the backyard is a little bit more of like now you're a client, now you're part of this thing. There's a client portal. You know, those types of things. So it's just
you're standing around the grill with us.
Exactly,
you know,
exactly. You're over for a cookout. Brat. Yeah, getting a good old brat. Sounds good right now. Anyway,
I'm hungry.
But it's all that to say, it's easy for me to visualize these videos in that sense, but knowing that that's not strictly where they have to live either.
Right. Yeah, that's really, really good. And if you can hear the train behind us, you know, welcome to the sounds of the studio. Yeah. It's just we're letting people into the backyard right now.
Yeah, just being vulnerable with you. It's a bit noisy where we're at here today, but we're in person. We're glad to be here. We're glad to be talking about these videos that you need to have. What's our next video?
Man, that's what I'm talking about. Yes, number 2 video is going to be the client testimonial.
Oh man, this is so huge. This is so. Can I start with this?
Yes, 100.
This is so huge because there's only but so much self-promotion you can do, and I know people like to think that like self-promotion is bad.
Yeah,
I think it depends on how you do it, if you know. But ultimately, like we all have to let people know what we're doing, thus bring in the video content, right?
Right.
But when you have an opportunity for someone else to speak to that, think about, Darren.
So good.
When I come up here, when I come up to Indy, and I say, Darren, where should we go eat? I don't Google where we should go eat. I ask you because you live here.
Yeah.
And you're testifying to the fact that Ale Emporium is where we need to go.
Oh, Ale Emporium is definitely where we need to go.
So, but you know what I mean? Like I'm going, oh, well, Darren says, I don't care what Google says.
Yeah.
Because I know and I trust Darren.
Yeah.
And so it's from another person rather than it being from, you know what I mean? Reviews are everything. Like if we check Amazon reviews before we purchase things. We we look at Reddit threads before we buy new cars.
Yeah.
Like music recommendations, movie recommendations, like they're all mean more if they come from another human.
Yes.
Especially even more so if it's a human that you know. But so
right.
All that to say, even if you only have one client, get as many different testimonials from that one client as you can, and then list their name in totally different ways. So like, hey, this testimonial is from Darren C. This testimonial is from D. Cooper.
Yeah.
This, you know what I mean? Yep. Like this testimonial is from Mr. Cooper of yada yada yada.
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? Just list it as different ways.
Make it work. And I think sometimes we overcomplicate the testimonial piece of it too. Oh, I don't want to sit down and talk with one of my clients about all the awesome things that we did. We did something for 1898 that was really special to me. Was I just said, hey, Dustin, this client really had a good experience. Could you just jump on a Zoom with them and ask them these 5 questions?
Yeah.
And I didn't have to ask. I didn't have to be the one.
A lot of coaches and consultants have virtual assistants.
Yeah.
Provide your virtual assistant with the top 5 or 6 questions that you want answered.
Yep.
Coach them on how to do it real quick.
Yep.
And then let it go.
Yep. And to that point as well, you could do that with the client. Hey, could you do a vertical video? Because it's going to go out on social anyway.
Exactly. Give them 10% off of the next thing that comes out, or give them free sneak peek at the next tool or framework that you release.
Yeah.
Like say, be willing to give. Don't just be asking all the time, but just be willing to give as you're working together. Yeah. Like it's most people will say yes if they really find value in what you're offering. Most people are happy to do that.
100%. And two, there's probably times in your business, in your life, where a client will message into you, whether it's a direct message or a text message or an email or something. Oh man, that was so helpful. Thank you for X. Man, screenshot that thing. Like we can figure out 100 different ways of utilizing that to our benefit. But often we're
with their
not
permission.
Yes.
Just want to. the asterisk at the bottom of the pharmaceutical commercial. I just want to say.
Yes. Make sure you ask their permission.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. But you can obviously begin to create some, maybe it's a written testimonial that then you find ways of adding it into video elements or different ways that can just bring that to life.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So if someone, even if they're not comfortable getting on video, if they just send you a written text message or whatever of a testimonial, it's as easy as me looking at the camera and go, hey, I was talking with Darren the other day, and Darren said, after working with me, XYZ, yada, yada, yada. Like, it's as easy as that. Yeah. Now, it's not as pure, right? Because it's secondhand information, but you can still do it.
Right. It could even be one of those you go, and he said this, and you read it.
Right, and you read it, and it builds a little bit more trust.
Show it to him. Like, it's like you can
build a little more
trust.
I like that. I like that.
You can get creative. But, client testimonials are the big one. And I think we've all seen this, too, if we go to, like, a landing page that's selling a product or a service, and it's got hundreds of those testimonials under it, where you're just like scrolling, you're like, my goodness, holy cow.
Yeah, you're going to read one or two throughout that giant list, but you're going to notice more. It's the quantity, and you're going to go, oh, there's people must be actually into this.
Yes. So to your point, figure out ways of making them work in all kinds of different ways.
I mean, I know we talk about the BSV being most important. I mean, it's like the greatest commandment, where they which one's the most important. But that's the client testimonial to me over the last year. My professional life has been maybe the most important. It's right up there. It's 1B. If brand story is number one, 1B is client testimonial.
Well, especially when you take a client testimonial and sprinkle it into the brand story video.
Oh yeah,
I mean, now you're cross pollinating. You're making things that's.
Yeah, and there are a lot of pieces, just to go back real quick before we go forward again, there are a lot of pieces of that brand story video that can become other pillar content that we're talking about here, right?
Correct.
You can shoot a testimonial, you can shoot an interview with a couple of clients that will be, snippets of it will be included in your BSV.
Yes.
We talk about batching, repurpose, and repeating, right? We talk about that. So in that BSV, you're going to have a couple of basically small cuts from the client testimonial videos, but then you also, because you sat down with them one time, now that part of that interview is in the BSV.
Yes.
And now you have you can do one solo of just their client testimonial video. Now, if you have more than one client testimonial, you can do a mashup of just client testimonials. There's so many different opportunities there from one time that you sat down with your client and asked those questions.
And that's why we're really big around here on the content creation operating system, which is a way that we take that one piece of content and we figure out how to repurpose those as best that we can, right? Like, how can we make this work for us? Often we are stressed out, we're overwhelmed by the amount of content that we're trying to create for our business. And really, when you boil it down, one production day can lead to a ton of content for you. And that's what it really boils down to. So I love the fact that you pulled that out, because yes, do not allow a client testimonial to just be one client testimonial.
Yeah, and the others that we're going to get to here for the rest of this episode, same thing. They can all be parts of each other, standalone, cut up and highlighted together.
Yes.
So many opportunities.
Yes. I love it. All right, so we have the brand story video. We have the client testimonial. And number 3, we're going to go with the authority video. The authority video, some might call it a VSL or a video sales letter. We've just started to kind of implement this into one of the things that we do and offer. But often what we see with a video sales letter or this authority video is, how can we create a space in a place where we put you as the coach or consultant in the educational seat that allows you to build trust with a client very, very quickly.
Yeah, so when we talk about coaching with content, this is your first cornerstone opportunity to do that, in my mind. Right? The BSV is the why. Yep. The client testimonial is the what or the outcome. Right? Okay. Now we're kind of getting in between the prequel of the BSV and the sequel of the client testimonial, and we're getting into the middle of, this is the original cornerstone
Yes.
opportunity for you to coach with the content, coach with video.
Yeah, because in the authority video, this is going to be a 12 to 20-minute video. I know that's a large time frame, but it really becomes, to your point, a space where you're going to be teaching a concept, you're going to be teaching a framework, you are going to be delivering to your potential clients a very quick win.
Yes.
So this is something that you sit down and you go, what can I help them do very quickly?
Yeah.
That's what you're driving the traffic to.
Yeah, every coach, you know, so even some of our clients, myself, every coach has those top one or two. Hey, I'm going to say this to you in 30 seconds or less, and it can change the game for you. Yeah. Now I can spend the next 10 minutes telling you how, or 20 minutes, however long it needs to be.
Right.
So I don't even think it shouldn't be hard for you as a coach to come up with what does this authority video need to include.
Right.
Everybody has that one or two things. It's kind of how you got into it. It's how you have your unique voice. It's how you have your value, your unique value proposition, right?
Correct.
Everybody has that one or two things at the top. They might have a dozen things like I do, but we have one or two things right at the top of the list. It's kind of the cornerstone of everything. When everything comes back to it,
yes,
then it's an easy,
yep.
I don't know what to do. Do that one.
Yes, correct. And it's to that point, usually those things are quick wins for clients that you can help them through.
Yeah. And you're going to feel comfortable about it because it's just something that you've already talked about a ton of times before.
Yep.
So you don't have to really even worry about, like, I don't know what to say. It's no different than you sitting across the table from somebody at lunch who you're hoping to, we always say, like, give a little bit of the business away, right? Give a little opportunity, give a little bit of free coaching away, right? In that moment, this is your opportunity to give some of that free coaching away so that they go, this is great. I need your help doing that. Perfect. Here's how you do that.
Yeah, I love that. And so we broke down a full framework of the authority video in the last couple of episodes, so we won't go into the nitty-gritty of how to put this together, but an authority video is going to be a space where you're teaching these frameworks, you're showing them, you're helping them win, and then you're walking them through to a place that you go, if you want more of this, I would love to work with you.
Yep.
That's where you have them jump on a call with you, whatever your call to action is.
Yeah, go to this website, put in your email address to get the free PDF for what I'm teaching you right now.
Correct.
And now you have their email address. You put them in a nurture sequence. You can start sharing additional value there.
Correct.
So many different ways to do it, but it's all, again, it goes back to multiplying yourself, having that out there in so many different places for people to watch that without you having to be the one who's physically live and in person doing that.
Correct. You film it once and you let it work for you 24/7.
Repurpose.
Man, I got to work on my pronunciations. Anyway, so that's awesome. I love that authority piece, that authority video piece, or like I said, it could be a VSL. That's maybe more of a broader term that people will know and understand. So yeah, we got the brand story video, the client testimonials, we got the authority video, and then the fourth is going to be what we call landing page videos. So this one is plural because you can go in a couple of different directions here.
Yeah. I love these.
All right. So break it down for us then, Dustin. How have you seen it help?
Yeah, I love these. So landing page meaning it's some type of a web presence, whether it's just a solo landing page or it's somewhere on your website, right? So we've talked about before about the home page kind of being the front door of your website.
Right.
That's where people really need to they need to quickly understand who you are, what you do, and why you do it. That's why we say BSV is usually good to put on the home page so that people don't have to go searching for those answers.
Correct.
Right? Then you get into more of the about us type of stuff.
Sure.
And now now you're talking just an opportunity there for maybe an authority video or that type of thing, right?
Yep.
But I love landing page videos because when I go to a website, and this is kind of how the modern day user uses websites.
Yes.
I don't want to have to read.
100.
I just want to know what I need to know.
Correct.
And so if I go to your services page, I can scroll down and read about all your services and see all the client testimonials, and all that stuff should be there. That's great stuff to have there.
You have to have it there.
But right at the top, give them a 60-second or less video that says, here's what you're going to find on this page.
Correct.
Begin the journey with them. When you invite me over to your house for dinner, you don't just go, you don't text me before I get there and go, doors open, I'll see you in the backyard. Yeah. You meet me at the front door. Yeah. And you say, and you walk through that, there's the bathroom. Yeah. Here's what you can expect. It's the same thing. It's here's what you can expect on this page. We also do FAQ videos. So if you get asked the same 7, 8, 10 questions all the time about your business, what exactly do you coach? What does a creative professional mean? How do I even start this journey with you? How would I even know what would I even know to do for all those questions that you always get? You can create a simple FAQ page on your website, accordion style if you wanted to, however you want to do it. Yeah. But one little 30-second or less video per question.
So good.
People would rather hear the tone and the empathy in your voice when answering those questions rather than leaving it up to however they're going to read the language on your website. Yeah. So just give them a quick little video.
Man, that's it. And I love the fact that you brought the tone element into it as well. I know for me, this is a random tangent here, but for me, I've become the master or the king of audio voice messages to you as team members.
Oh yeah, drive time thoughts.
Drive time thoughts, baby.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we got something going on. Yeah. Or if I need to talk to one of our editors about something, I'm saying, hey, we need to address X, Y, Z.
Yeah, hop on Slack, hit the record button, give them the message.
Right. And I do that because often if I gave you a bullet point list on things to change on a video or different, ideas that I have, sometimes it's lost in translation.
Well, I'm bringing all my emotional baggage into the situation. Right. What kind of day I've had, what I think that you think of me.
Right.
You know what? All those things. And I'm reading it. I'm reading that bullet point list and that tone of voice.
Correct.
But if Darren sends me a voice message through Slack or a phone or text or something like that, I can hear in his voice the excitement, the pain, the struggle, the joy. I can hear that, and I go, "Oh, that's where this is coming from."
That's what he means. And I bring that up because a little bit of what you're saying. I loved your analogy of walking around the house and kind of letting people know, but in the same way, this allows people to hear you on that services page, and you go, "Man, we offer these 3 services. I can hear the passion in your voice about one of them that you talk about, right?" And now it just sets the tone when I'm reading it. Now all of a sudden I'm hearing what you're saying.
It set the table for everything else that's on that page.
Yeah.
It just sets the table for it. When you see a client testimonial, you're like, oh, he was talking about that in his video, and that client said this about his coaching.
Yep. And it's in what I love about these videos too is they can be very, very basic. Grab your phone, pull it up.
100%.
Hey, welcome to such and such page.
Yep.
Let me tell you a little bit about what you can expect here.
Our phones are so... We're walking around with some of the best cameras in the world in our back pockets.
So good. It's so good.
And we just don't use them as much as
And this is what I love to talk about too, Dustin, when it comes to video content.
We need a whole episode on video with our phones, coaching with content with our phones.
Yeah.
Mark that down, whoever's watching.
Yeah, put that. Who's taking notes?
Who's taking
is it
notes
me?
here?
Oh, boy. But like the idea of, I've been noticing this a lot. Like we're in Indianapolis, so Pat McAfee is a big guy around here.
Love Pat.
Pat is the best, right? Not only was he awesome to watch as the punter of the
Colts. Just a legend.
His show is amazing. Well, if you watch his show, he brings people on all the time. ESPN, like anchors, guys that are paid millions of dollars, and it's a phone. And it's just sitting up there, or it's a little shaky. They're sitting in the car.
Yeah.
So what that has done is that's kind of broken a little bit of this need for the overproduced idea of what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
And so when we talk about all these videos, yes, I do think there is something
it's broken the stigma of that you need all of this gear and all of this money and all of this everything in order to actually coach with video content.
Right.
It's riding around in your back pocket right now.
For sure. Now, we would say there is times that you need the high production.
Sure. These pillar ones, I would say.
We're a video production company.
Yeah,
you got to hire us.
Yeah, I mean, BSVs, things like that, that's going to involve a lot of B-roll and stuff like that. But these landing page videos,
don't overthink it.
Don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Don't overthink it.
And that's what I love about that. And to that idea too, Dustin, of just like welcoming them in, explaining what they're about to eat, and allowing your tone to be set.
Yeah, don't let them wander around your house wondering where the bathroom is, and then they end up locked in the pantry.
Yeah.
Like, tell them this is where the bathroom is.
Yeah.
How hard was that?
Yeah. and man, it sounds, again, to the elementary conversation that we had earlier.
It is elementary.
It's very much, we go, man, sometimes we just overthink it. We just have to.
Another episode, overthinking your content.
Overthinking your content. Man, we really need somebody taking notes.
Good thing we're recording this via video.
I guess, man. Holy cow. This is our notes. I'm going to be like, where is it in the timestamp?
It's somewhere in there. Download the transcript. Find that.
That's awesome. Well, I love that. And I think those landing pages are huge. So
good.
So take some time and make sure that those are a part of your process. So if you're going to say, man, Darren, Dustin, what do I need to film? I don't know what to do. How do I get people excited about my coaching business? What I need you to do is create at least one, if not all four. We say all four because it's pillar content. But brand story video, client testimonials, an authority video, and then landing page. We'll plural that at landing page videos.
Landing page, parentheses S.
Yes, I like that. I like that. So it is four, but it's it a little bit more. But those are the four pieces of pillar content that you need. And so I'm going to challenge you today, no matter where you're at, no matter what you're doing, take a few minutes and write down which one of these four videos you want to shoot and film first, okay? And then once you do that, take a few minutes and script something out. If you need help with that, reach out to us. We'd be glad to help. But script out, I'm going to do a brand story video. It's who I am, what I do, and why I do it. Okay, let's script this out, and then put your phone on a tripod and make this thing happen. That's the way that you can start to make content, this pillar content for your business. So I'm going to challenge you in that today. That's your call to action. Go make one of these four pieces of pillar content today. You're not going to be disappointed, and start allowing it to work for you 24/7. So with that said, Dustin, any final thoughts? Any other things swirling around in your brain on that piece?
I just love being in person. This is a great little shake up. We got a couple new episodes obviously coming out.
Yeah.
That we mentioned in the podcast today. Hold us to it.
Yeah.
If you don't see those here in the next couple of months, be like, where are they at? I need it. I need that phone episode.
Remember that one that you said you were going to do? We need
Do it.
that. Oh crap, we forgot. We didn't write it down.
Yeah.
Oh man.
We recorded it down.
So anyway, thank you for joining us for another episode of the Coaching with Content podcast. As always, if you need help, if you want to figure out what it looks like to work with 1898 Creative and start to help you win with video, reach out to us. You can find us at 1898creative.com. We'll talk about the content creation operating system. We'll talk about the pillar content. We'll talk about video podcasting, all the things that we could do to help you grow as a coach or consultant. And with that said, I want you to go out. I want you to create your art, because that's something that's important to us here. You are an artist, and you need to go out and make your voice known in this world. So get out there, create your art, and we'll see you next week here on the Coaching with Content podcast.